Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Now I'm gonna get this. This is a jewel socket, and you'll see it as soon as I get one. But the main thing that you need to know is that you can't put skill gems in this socket.
Gather them quickly. A harvest is ready. When I'm ready, I'm not.
The sirens appear to be dining well.
Frankly, I would have been surprised if you hadn't recognized me. Yes, 'tis I, Captain Sigmund Fairgraves, wave tamer, pirate bane, and conveyor of civilization to barbaric lands. So, what am I doing here, apart from blowing my own bugle? I'm marooned, languishing, thanks to a pair of pretty blue eyes. Stuck fast in the filthy mud of Rayclast, thanks to one sultry little slave girl. I liberated her from the flesh pits of Trathos, and she repaid me in full with sleight of hand and swift feet. Turned the coat of my first mate, took my hard-earned all-flame, and with it the wind out of me sails. Find my all-flame, I beg of you. Till I feel its warmth again, I'm trapped here, high and dry, till the sun's final setting. I hunted the vagaries of a near-forgotten myth to a shattered cathedral in the Inner Empire. I took the all-flame and encased it within a lantern of pure silver, the only element it seemed incapable of consuming. Oh, the all-flame does many a marvelous thing in the hands of one who knows how to harness its power. Oh, banish any thoughts of using it for yourself. It would burn you alive. My loveliest neighbor in this most salubrious of neighborhoods. Facing Mervale and finding my all-flame are two mutually exclusive endeavors. I'd much prefer you to live to see your errand fulfilled, although it is possible that my wayward slave girl fell prey to one of Mervale's slithering progeny. If that be the case, you look resourceful enough to handle a tentacled wench or two. But if Mervale herself has my flame, be very wary. That necklace of hers provides the old siren with some subtle wiles indeed. If the history books are to be believed, Doreso the Daring presented the necklace to Mervale on bended knee, and from the moment he placed that little chunk of Rayclast at her throat, Mervale began to sing. It's told her sweet voice grew to fill even the largest concert halls of Oriath, and brought warmth to even the coldest of hearts. But then she began to change. Her mind and body twisted, as did her songs. Well, the sweetness remained, while the sanity fled. Knowing what little I do about the powers that lie dormant here in Rayclast, I'd surmise that if you have Mervale's necklace, you have the siren's voice. Till we meet again, perhaps.
When I'm ready and not...
Calm stands before us and looks out to the raging sea. He sings, calls, screams to our ancestors to come to our aid. He offers them gifts of old, a feast of heart and mind, muscle and marrow, cooked in the fire and rock of this angry land. We have not practiced these ways in so many years. Only in the darkest of times, most desperate of times, do we perform these oldest of rituals. Only here and now may we sacrifice and consume our own. Only in our King can we trust this return to our ancient selves.
Much clatter.
Okay, now we need to talk about items again. And this time, we need to talk about item bases. So what is an item base? So let's take a look at these body armors that we have. And we don't care about their stats. We don't care that they are unidentified. We only care about the raw base of the item. All the other stats can easily be added, removed, or changed. So we have this simple robe. Now take a look at its first stat. It says energy shield. That automatically tells us that this is an intelligence-based body armor. The next one has armor and evasion rating. The next one has only the evasion rating, which means that this one is a pure dexterity-based item. And the final one has evasion and energy shield. So we have one item that's purely intelligence, one it's purely dexterity, and there is also a pure strength base item. And as you can see, there are also a combinations of these three bases. So why am I telling you all of this? Well, the main reason is socket colors. The pure intelligence base armor always has a higher chance to roll a blue socket. The strength one has a higher chance for red, and dexterity for green. So for example, if you want to have all blue sockets on a strength-based item, you're gonna have a hard time getting that. Now it's not impossible to get that. In the end game you can get that pretty much easily. But for beginners you should never try to roll all blue sockets on a strength-based item or a dexterity-based item. Now the mixed bases, for example intelligence and dexterity mixed base, they have an equal chance to get a green and blue socket, but they have a lower chance to get a red socket. So getting all red sockets on that is going to be hard for beginners. Now there is also no reason for you to stress yourself with getting only a pure armor items or pure evasion rating items or pure energy shield items, because those things don't matter in the beginning. All that you need to care about are sockets, links, and resistances. And depending on a build, you might need like dexterity like I do, or intelligence, or strength for some gem. Now I'm just gonna go quickly through some item bases that this vendor has, just for a quick showcase. And the information I told you now is for body armors, gloves, boots, and helmets. Belts, rings, and amulets have different types of bases.
Stay sharp out there.
Now let's take a look at belts, rings, and amulets.
Mervale dwells in the caves beyond the wrecks, at the head of Siren's Cove. Leave her be, and we can only hope that she continues to return the favor.
As you can see, we have a belt that always gives us life. This one always gives us global physical damage. This one always gives us energy shield. This one always gives us strength. Ones, for example, always give us spell damage. Different ring bases also give us different stats. Different amulet bases. Okay, now let's, for example...
Be well. Hello.
Now there is one more thing that I want to explain, but I can't do it right now since I don't have the proper tools.
Yes?
So I guess I'll do it later.
Hello. Yes? Farewell. What little help I can offer is...
Hello.
Still alive, are we?
Okay, so I just came here to refresh this zone. I don't want it to reset. Now let's go back and listen to some dialogue.
Hello.
What now? Siren's Cove belongs to Mervale. Those butchering buccaneers sailed off that way. The ones that plundered my poor merry gull. 'Twould be poetic justice if they'd stopped off for a sing-along with Mervale's lovely daughters on their way home. Fairgraves? The explorer? No one's seen or heard of him since he set sail for Rayclast over 30 years ago. So if you're about to tell me that you've met Captain Fairgraves in the flesh, then you've either met a liar or something far, far worse. Piety's raised Chevron's barricade. Not that I was likely to ever make the trip inland, but it was nice to have the dream. Hang on a moment. Got a stray thought seeking safe harbour. Piety's one to watch her own back, so she'd never cut off an escape route from possible trouble inland. The cunning witch must be able to lower that barricade from the other side, somehow.
Greetings! If you have to quench your curiosity about Mervale, go look at the corsairs that haunt the grave of ships. Like any mother, Mervale's got hungry mouths to feed. Why would Piety go and cut us off from the interior? Thankfully, I don't have it in me to know what that witch thinks. But I reckon you'll work it out, once you've lowered Chevron's barricade for us, of course. Farewell.
How you going?
When I'm ready, and not before. Life is short. Deal with it.
Calm is gone. Our king has taken our finest 500 warriors and descended into the depths of Rayclast. He spoke to us of a vision, a gift from the ancestors. Calm has been deceived. The vision was a gift from the Black Spirit. It has conquered Calm. The Black Spirit has conquered the Karui way. Hairi has made ready her canoes. We will take those that are left, 500 forgotten families and carry them back to their true homes, back to Ngā Makanui. Khaon's promises have led us into nightmare. Hairi will lead us back to the dawn.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, so we got Orb of Augmentation. It says enchant a magic item with a new random modifier. Now, if you remember the story from the previous episode about prefixes and suffixes, you might remember that magic items or blue items have only 2 stats, like this amulet. So there is a chance that you might get a magic item with only 1 stat, with 1 prefix or 1 suffix. So whichever type of stat you're missing on an item, the Orb of Augmentation will add that missing type of stat. Okay, this is where we need to go, so let's go back to complete a side quest.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Okay, now this is a strong box. When you click on it, it's gonna spawn some enemies. And depending on its stats, it can turn out to be a really bad trap for you. So we can identify this one. It says detonates nearby corpses. So we should run away when we activate it, because corpse explosion can kill us.
I barely recognize myself. When I'm ready, and not before. That would just make life complicated.
If you must take your chances with the siren, then have this. It may be of some help. But please, know that you don't have to do this. Tarkly and I are getting used to having you around.
Okay, now Flesh Offering is a really good spell for our minions. So I'll take it. Okay, I guess I can show you the thing now. So we need alteration, maybe augmentation, and transmutation.
Hello.
So let's get a belt with life. I want a life-based belt.
While we live, we are blessed.
So it's a normal item, white one. Let's make it magic. So it got 12% fire resist and reflect physical damage. So do you see the blue line below the life stat and above the two stats that we just added? The life stat is a base item stat. And all the stats above this line are called implicit stats. The implicit stats cannot be changed no matter how many times you roll an item, how many times you augment it, no matter how many times you use an alteration on it. Now, of course, there are ways to change them in the end game, but now for the beginners at the beginning, there is no way. So if you want an item that guarantees life and you want to gamble other stats, this is a really good place to start. Cool, so now we have double life and lightning resist. Amazing, let's use it.
Hello.
The item has prefix and suffix, so we can't use augmentation. As you can see, it says item has no space for more mods. Let's sell this one, let's use this one, and we can continue. Now let's finish the side quest.
When I'm ready, and not before.
My Allflame, my blessed damned Allflame. Oh, you want your moment in the firelight now, do you? Unfortunately, necessity is what it is, and for the Allflame to give life, it must first be kindled with life. And since suitable kindling is in short supply around these parts, I have little option but to make do with what I have. Namely, you. Please understand that as a gentleman of honor, it pains me greatly to do this. Hard times call for hard hearts. I'm sure, were the circumstances reversed, you'd do precisely the same.
And that's how you die properly, sailor boy. No half measures, thank you. That would just make life complicated.
Yes?
Fairgraves was a good man, a fine explorer. He opened the door to many a new world, for better or for worse. Usually for worse, when it came to the natives. There's some peace in the knowledge that he now rests where he should. Let's not speak of Fairgraves again, shall we? He was an inspiration to many. 'Twould be a shame to spoil a good hero.
Now I'm taking the duration node because my animate weapon minions have a duration and I want them to last as much as possible. And it also gives me more damage, which is always a good thing.
Stay sharp out there.
Still working on it.
While we live, we are blessed.
Welcome, husband. We knew in our hearts that you would find us. Come, Doresso. Ambrosia and Amarissa must meet their father. Come, my love. Return to your family.
When I'm ready, and not before.
our god. Strange. You have seeds unlike any we have seen before. Though filled with the same life force, it is as though the energies dance to a different tune. We should establish a separate structure for these seeds. Take these collectors and arrange them to best bring these new seeds to harvest. I do not recall seeing the seeds in my childhood. They are new to me, new to Rayclast. They are unlike any seed I've ever seen. They do not need the fruit or the flower. No, they are born of the land itself, outpourings of this land's very life force, a gift for us, if we can peer behind the veil. It is beautiful, yes? I believe it to be older than the Eternal Empire. Older than the Val? I am not so sure. But it does not look like their work. I like to believe it is a work of my ancestral Asmeri, carved from the land to serve the land, equal parts monument and penance. I was once blessed with a deep connection to the land. It would speak to me and nourish me. But that connection was severed, and in turn my tribe severed their connection to me. I was alone, lost. The land spoke no more, until I found this place. The garden restored my connection, strengthened it. I do not hear whispers, but singing. I wish to honor this place by utilizing it to its fullest, and I want you to join me in this. It is the name I have given to the invisible force that breathes life back into the dead, that twists and shapes beast and bush. The soils of this sacred place release this energy from the seeds that grow here. The collectors and conduits allow us to collect it and redirect it to more useful endeavors. Even the simplest little worms struggle and fight to survive in the face of a threat. The life force is the desire for survival in its purest form. So of course, its struggle is more visceral. It does not want to be wielded by us, so it creates monsters with which to defend itself. And I have you to defend me. That, and your wonderful social presence. The life force is at its most malleable as soon as it is released. Take the time to use it as best you can. Though it is not without its uses when we store it, it is far harder to wield for the transformative purposes we seek.
When I'm ready, and not before.
That would just make life complicated.
What little help I can offer is... Be well.
Greetings!
When I'm ready, and not before.
Gather. The land continues to surprise us. The life force that swirls within these seeds is in some way different once again to that which we've seen before. We will use a third set of collectors. Ensure you do your utmost to honor the Grove's intent.
When I'm ready, and not before.
fishwife. 'Twas love that did this to you. Too much clutter. It's nice to see there's still some life in this twitching corpse of a continent.
Okay, so now we are in Act 2. And I want to go back quickly, since I didn't read the diary. So I'll see you back at that spot.
Doresso gave me the gem, kissed me, promised that he would be by my side forever. I sang for him. I sang for Oriath with his gem at my throat. Khaleesi's gem. Khaleesi's voice. I sang in her echo, performing arias that had once made the Empire weep. I listened to Khaleesi's lullabies in my dreams. I gave myself to her music, mind and body. Doresso left me for San with a promise to free me from Khaleesi. I begged him not to go, tried to show him the wonder of my transformation, the beautiful daughters he would soon meet. He couldn't see. None of them could see. I fled from their hatred. When Doresso returns, I will cast his cure away. I will teach him what true love is.
I thought you were a fool for seeking out Mervale. A fool in love with death. Now, I don't know. Still, you've delivered this coast from the terrors that long held sway here. We may now find some respite, and that's more than any of us could have hoped for. But please, consider this. What have you become when even nightmares fear you? Be well.
Quite the lady killer, aren't you? That singing squid didn't stand a chance. Knew it from the first time I saw those sharp peepers of yours. Well, pirates notwithstanding, I thank you on behalf of all the fallen brethren of the waves. Now that the final cadence has been played, no one need remember Mervale's song.
Let me tell your future.
Damn me. I didn't think it possible. All these souls Mervale and her brood have consumed over the years. You've done right by those that are dead, and by those who still might live. Farewell.
Yes? Take care.
No, keep it. Okay, so we have this silver coin. With it, we can ask for prophecy.
Welcome. The green and verdant field is swathed in night. The farmers who tended to it rise again.
Now, her prophecies are really simple. If she tells you that you're going to kill something, then the game will simply spawn that thing in the next map that you go. Or she might tell you that you might get something much easier, and when you try to get it, the game will go like bam, you got it.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Our garden swells with life force. Come.
Okay, so now we are in the main hub area in Act 2, and with that we will continue this in the next episode. So if you liked this one, give it a like, dislike if you think it sucked, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.